Hi, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to TSSP YouTube channel. Today, and I'm going to introduce an real-time project workshop. So today onwards, we're going to discuss how real-time the projects will work well in development and in support, the maintenance, how it will be. So those we are going to discuss day by day. The day one, and I'm going to discuss in an organization. We are four members in a team and working on a development project. How the work will be started assigning and how we are going to implement the development project that we are going to discuss. Let's assume we are working on the front office kind of application. Front office kind of application employee who join an organization, he want to get the details. Let's assume if you enter into the office, they are asking you to provide what is your employee ID or who is your manager, so that they'll be getting the details about you. To make it such kind of implementation, let us assume we are working this kind of application for our organization. So for that purpose, the first we have to be analyze the requirement. So first we have to be analyze the requirement, gathering of the requirement basis. We need to analyze the requirement. What is the front office kind of application? What are the features we require? And what are the screens we required, what are how the DB details are required, what is the relationship. Those are the requirement of analysis will be analyzed and gathering of the requirement basis. We are going to analyze the requirement, and then after that we are going to the project planning. So how project has to be implemented, who are the team for the like backend development and UI development, and as an who is working for the DB design. So, which kind of methodology you want to get implemented to achieve our requirement to be completed. So, once we have an planning of who are working, who are which kind of methodology basis, then we'll come up with the design. So, like how the design, like so what are the classes and lays by some kind of pseudocode. And if you are going with the DB, what is the entity table, and what are the fields, and it will be related to any other child table. So what are the fields, and it has an one-to-one or one-to-many relationship or one-to-many. So that way we can go for come up with the design kind of implementation. In the design phase itself, so we have to be come up with like low design kind of. So what are the use case, and what are the classes has to be implemented, what are the relationship with, and how the uh, some kind of if you have any assumption and if you have any DB changes, those will be documented in the low design template, so that it will be uh, easy for the developer who is developing the code. That will be useful. Those design basis, the use case basis, we will be created the story with the accept criteria when we are going for agile methodology. And that if you are using an waterfall model, based on the low design document, we'll be started doing the coding, and how much percentage of coding we have completed. We'll be updating by the weekly once, or 2 weeks once. We will have on call basis. We'll get updating when you go with the waterfall model. But in case of agile methodology, so what we are going to do is those design basis, use case basis, we are going to create the story with aspect criteria. Let's assume, and a login person. So if you want to front office application to be accessed, it has to log in. The login basis, there is an UI screen will be designed. So the UI screen, how it looks like, and what are the features, like it has to give username and password, and also login button, and if you have any registration or forget password, the links and how the looks like, and that is one use case, the story basis and particular use case. And these are the accept criteria. What are the validation we required for the username password field? That way we are going to come up with the story. After he has given the details and click on the login button, and it has to go to the appropriate servlet or controller or action class. From that, how to read the details, and there also what kind of validation we are applied for the inputted data, and that will be calling to the service. So service, we are going to prepare the required entity object, and that will be calling to the uh, DO layer. It can be an fetching, or it can be an kind of saving or updating based on things. According to that, we'll do the business logic that will be calling to the DO layer. There, according to the required operation. In this case, I'm going to fetching, right. I'm going to pass the username, password basis login parameter to the DO layer, and there will be having a query. It will be interact with TB. Either we can use it to normal JDBC, and we can also get it of Hibernate or JPA, whatever the things we are using technologies to interact with the database. We'll be connecting the appropriate database like MySQL or whatever it may be. We're going to connect it to MySQL database, and based on the username, password, the valid information, will get the resulted data to the UI, like resulted data to the service layer. There we are going to prepare the response that will be written to the controller or action or the servlet, that will be written to the UI. UI will be display whatever the login button basis, so the response process basis, what are the resulted data, which are the screen has to be processed. That way it will be uh, come up with some kind of accept criteria of the story has to be come up with some kind of accepted story requirement, and the required accept criteria to be implemented over there. Okay, so that's also one story. And forget basis and the forget click basis, I want to do kind of sending an mail with some kind of code, and that using that reset URL link, and how it has to be generate the new password, and that will be updated according to the password updated. That is also one story. That way we will come up with one by one story, and those stories will be created as a backlog into the Jira, so that after we created the backlog, okay, so we have a planning meeting. So planning meeting. There, what will happen is the planning meeting. The every one of the 4 team members, including the product owner, we are going to estimate the story point. So estimate, how estimation of the story point mean. Like, let's take an example. Login screen has to be designed with 2 text bar, username, password, with buttons of login button, forget, and registration. These links, and according to the button basis, how the validation basis, what is how much time required for developing. Some person told like I require to be implemented by the uh, 3 days, and 3 into 8 hours. So like we can say like 32 hours are like someone to like 4 days basis 32. Someone says like 18 3 days basis 24, and someone says like 2 days. So these are they based on their inputs, and who are given high, who has given less, those will be giving a reason. So that's who has given less, and we already have some reference pages already on the other application or something, or we already, this can be not required to be that much, and the validation to be done by the simpler validation. Already we have validation reference is there, so we can use it that one. So, and while we are going to design the page, someone say like we are going to use it Angular kind of framework, which is required to be rich look and feel. We need to build it and come up with something. So, and also that kind of way when the technology base which you are using, so you come up with finding the complexity and learning curve for the implementation based on the things, and we are going to accurate story point. So hours, one story point is 8 hours. Let's take it as 4 days means 4 story point. 3 days means 3 story point. So that way we can get assigned to the stories, and that will be moved to the current sprint. So in a Jira, we have a backlog will be created basis. We are going to create a new sprint, and that sprint planning method basis. One of the story will be moved to the from backlog to the we are going to move to the from backlog to the sprint. So according to that, if you are using a 4 members in our uh, uh, team, so we already have moved to the 4 story point. So if you get considered, we have an 4 members, and 4 members, how many days of work we will take it? Like if you go with 7 story point each one, like 4 into like we can go with the 4 into 7, so 7 or 8. Okay, so 4 members into 8 hours. 8 hours or 7.5. Average we can say like 32 story point. 32 story point. 32 into 1 story point is 8 hours. So that basis, like we will get the like we can get an 256 hours. 256 hours of work will be taken for the 4 members of team. Okay, for 2 weeks of okay 2 weeks of work we will be taking. These are the so 32 story points. 32 story points basis, and 2 weeks of work will be taken from that. So one we already took the 4 story points, and remaining hours of story points work can be taken other stories that will be moved to the current sprint. So after that, we are going to assign to the work for your of 2 weeks of work basis. How much of story points you can 7.5 to 8 story point work will be get it assigned to yourself, or lead will be assigned to you, so that you can be started moving to the in progress, and so that that task which is moved to the in progress, and let us assume and one story assigned to the UI person come up with the UI design, and few of the story points of work will be assigned to the backend developer. Few of the story points will be assigned to the DBA person to come up with DB design. This is kind of scratch development. So that way we come up with task will be splitted, and we started implemented. Okay, when you started implementing, I'll make it Jira. I'll make it progress, and while I am going to UI person will be suppose if he started working, and something like he hasn't going with the thing, some kind of validation required basis, he hasn't some more clarification, and the next day of 15 minutes of daily standing meeting he'll be updating. I started designing the page on that page, and I required these are the validation I'm trying to do. but I require to be exact format of the validation something query has, that will be discussed in basis, and they'll be assigned to the respective person whom we need to contact after that 15 minutes of meeting. Everyone have the 4 member of team, and they'll be asking, and DB person, he hasn't designing the tables, and but he has to be what is the maximum size of the description or something, and address something kind of fields. If you have clear about the thing, it will come up. But if you don't have any queries on that one, it will be good to go with thing. He'll updating what he did yesterday, what he is going to do. So similarly, the backend person who actually taking the UI request, that person also will get updating, and that way every one of the team members they'll be updating daily basis 15 minutes of meeting. If you have an required to be discussed more on that one, if for his requirement, they'll be giving a point of contact whom I need to contact, and the after the daily standing meeting, that he will be contacting the respective person. Okay, after he has been contacted, what he will be getting the clarity basis, he will be started implementing. Okay, so after he has started implementing, okay, so he will be let us assume he has started doing some kind of code, and the code basis, whatever the code has an uh, um, implemented, and it is working, and for his testing, and is tested, and according to that one, and he started get it reviewed by the lead or a senior who want to get it review the code. Okay, once you get it review the code, and if you have any review comments or something, according to that one, he will be get modify the code, and he'll be fixing, so that it will be moving to the done state, and after that he has to be implement any JUnit test case for the implementation also. Again, that task will be assigned as a subtask, that will be moving to the in progress, and then he has doing the JUnit test cases, that is also completed basis. And then the end of the sprint, after, so end of the sprint, we have an I mean to say, in the 10th day of the sprint, and we have an demo. So whatever he has an implementing, that implementation basis, he will be giving an uh, mm, demo. At the end of the demo basis, what are the stories the product owner accepted basis will be completed. If it is anything, it has to be, still has to be some of the things, and it will be going to the once again backlog of the Jira, so that the next sprint planning meeting basis, those required work will be taken, that will be assigned to the person who start working, and remaining stories also work will be taken for the based on the bandwidth we have the team members, that will be started assigning to the work, and then daily standing meeting, then it will be reviews the most retrospective meeting. So at the end, after the demo, and we have one more important meeting is retrospective meeting. On that meeting, what we'll discuss is whatever we have implemented for the story implementation. So he has in every one of the team member, they will be giving an inputs like what went well, what went wrong, so that that will be noted by the who has an participant of that particular the meeting, the sprint, and those will be given the names basis. So their inputs will be noted down by the what went well, what went wrong, and according to that one, is there any action items to improve the, see, one person say like I have one query and I have sent a mail, but the response he got it after 4 or 5 days. In the meantime, he is not able to progress. So to make it to delay of the work, and he want to be the person has to be reacted in a day or two. So not to be taking more time. So that action item basis, who is in the respective person, they will be given instruction to get updated the details and then online, so that it will be get it improved the next sprint. So that way we will get it improved the daily basis one by one. Then after that, what we are going to do is we have started the new sprint basis. Once again, as I told you, like we have the planning meeting, then get it assigned to the daily standing meeting, intermediate reviews, demos. So that way we are going to move it. After we haven't did the coding, we haven't started testing by the testing team, and they will be performing for what are the completed things. They will be performing their test cases. If they found any issues or something, and they will be assigning the ticket, and that will be working by the developer to fixing the according to the required. If we need any, the developer is implemented as expected of the story, but testing team is expecting something. But if you have any gaps between the developer and the tester, so that will be discussed with the product owner, and get it clarified the what he is expecting as per the use case. So so that it will be needed the change, and if there anything that will be finalized in the testing phase. So after that, it will be the testing phase basis. First, it has an system integration testing. So what kind of testing? System integration testing. After the DIT, development integration testing, what it hasn't developed it. So a system integration testing, then it is passed basis UAT, user accepted testing. Then we'll go to the production. So these are the different environment for the testing. After it is passed by these three, and then we'll go to production. That will be in the deployment phase. And after that, deployed the production, and there is a warranty basis, and we have the development team, and there is a support and maintenance team basis. The KTs will be given by the development team. KTs will be given to the development to the support team, and few of the weeks, and development will be fixing the bugs if it get come, and there will be shadow after few weeks of shadow basis support team. Then the support team will be coming as an actively fixing the issues, and development will be the shadow few weeks, and after that the completely it will be going to the support team, and they will be maintaining if you have any issues or bugs, and according to the enhancement, so they will be doing. This is the way in the real time the project it will be get it implemented. So to make it such kind of things, and I'm going to introduce in our next class how we are going to start uh, each of the team member, the how their required task will be implemented, how it will be delivered. So that we are going to see in the next class. Okay, if you like it, please like it, please share it, subscribe. Thank you.